Today, I'll share a few common mistakes made by Lightroom users so you can avoid them. I know these are common mistakes because I've made most of them and I've spoken to people who've done the same. Let's start with one that affects many new users when importing images to the Lightroom Catalog. Imagine returning from a shoot with a memory card full of RAW files. After inserting the card into our computer's card reader, we select File and then Import from the Lightroom menu. This opens the import screen, which you can see here. Now there are a lot of settings here, as well as a blind spot for many people. It's this import option at the top of the screen. It can be extremely easy to overlook these or choose the wrong option. In this example, Lightroom is set to copy the images. This means that Lightroom creates a copy of the files on our memory card and saves the copy in the folder we select. Most of the time, copy is the best option, though sometimes we'll need to use one of the others, and that's when the problems can happen. These options can often have unintended consequences. If we select the Move option, Lightroom will move our original image file from the memory card to the destination folder. This means that the memory card will be empty after the import because the images are deleted. When everything works fine, that isn't a problem. But sometimes something can go wrong either on the import or shortly afterwards, and you might lose your files. Another version of the copy option is Copy as DNG. This creates a copy of the image on the memory card, but then converts that copy into the DNG format. Use this cautiously because some applications do need the original RAW file to work their magic. You must use the RAW file to get the best results from applications like DxO Photolab. They will work with DNG files, but some features may be disabled and the image quality will be limited. Processing old RAW files using today's software often produces better results than when you did them originally, but you won't be able to take advantage of all the quality improvements if you've already converted the RAW file to a DNG format. The Add option is next and can also cause problems. This inputs the files from the memory card to the Lightroom Catalog, but it leaves the files on the memory card. After import, everything looks fine and you see the image previews. You only notice there's a problem when you remove the memory card and try to process an image. That's when you realize you can't edit it because the image file is missing. The Add option is really intended for adding images that are already in the correct folder on the computer but not in the Lightroom Catalog. And this brings us rather neatly to our second classic mistake. Here's what Lightroom looks like after I've imported the images from my memory card. When you see a grid of thumbnails like this, it's easy to think that Lightroom has stored a copy of your image file, but it hasn't. If I switch to the single image preview, we see a label saying that this is an embedded preview. It's telling me that I'm looking at a preview of the RAW file that was read and stored during the import. In the case of this RAW file, the preview is around half the dimensions of the original image. If I magnify it to 100%, then switch to the Develop module, you can see the image at its correct size. What's just happened is that the embedded preview stored in the Lightroom Catalog has been replaced. When I switch to the Develop module, Lightroom read the RAW file and rendered a new full-size preview of it. It then stored that preview in the Lightroom Catalog to make viewing of the RAW file faster in future. But this preview isn't retained forever, it's discarded in time if I don't use it. If we open the Lightroom Catalog settings, we can see that mine is set to discard these previews after a week of not being used. Now look at what happens when I go back to the image preview in the Lightroom library. We now see that the embedded preview notice has gone. That's because we're now looking at the full-size preview that we just generated. Now I know I've been talking a lot about previews, but this is important. These previews often trick people into thinking Lightroom has stored the image, but it hasn't. I've known people who've deleted their image files after importing to Lightroom to save room on their computer's hard drive. They thought that Lightroom has the image when all they're looking at is a preview. They then realised their mistake when they tried to edit the image or when the preview is purged from the Lightroom Catalog. Which brings us to the next mistake to avoid. When you import your images to the Lightroom Catalog, it creates a link to the image file. When you edit an image in Lightroom, it stores these edits in the Lightroom Catalog and updates the image preview. This is why your editing in Lightroom is non-destructive. You're not changing the original file. It's only when you come to export an image that Lightroom applies your edits to a copy of the image. This means that for Lightroom to work correctly, it needs to know the location of the original image file. If you change the file's name or its location, you break this link, which creates a missing file. The most common way this mistake happens is when you rename or move a file after import to Lightroom, and you do this using the Finder or Explorer app on your computer. Instead, you must use the tools in Lightroom to make these changes. Lightroom can then update the Lightroom Catalog to keep track of the image. It's also possible to check your Lightroom Catalog to find missing files under the Library menu. When you then choose the Find All Missing Files option, Lightroom will scan your catalog to see if anything's missing. These missing files are entries in the Lightroom catalog where the file link is now broken. If Lightroom finds any, you can then choose to delete the image entry on the Lightroom catalog, or you can fix the broken link to the image file by choosing its new location. The final mistake I want to highlight is not taking a minute to keyword your images. Contrary to what a lot of people think, you don't need to spend hours adding dozens of keywords to each image. You only need to do that if you're actually going to sell the images to the likes of a stock library. You just need to spend a few minutes adding a couple of basic keywords to the image. Looking at this image in the Lightroom library, we see a few keywords have already been added. This tells us the location is Formby and it's a landscape photo of a beach. I added these keywords automatically to every image I imported using the import dialog we looked at earlier. If we return to that screen, you can see an area to enter the keywords. It's as simple as typing them into this box, and it's something you should do for each batch of images you import. Now, having done that, I can quickly search my entire Lightroom catalog to find all the images with the keyword Formby. Or I can limit to searching maybe a specific year or even just a folder. Now, we've rushed through quite a bit of information in this video, and there's a lot more you can do to manage your images more effectively in Lightroom. If you want to learn about those, see my book, The Easy Way to an Organised Photo Library. I'll include the details in the video description. Which brings us to another important point. Did you notice that I've organised my photos into dated folders? If you want to understand why, watch this video next. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you soon for another video.